Welcome to another episode of Demolition Worker, where today we face the heartbreaking task of dismantling the legendary supersonic Concorde aircraft entirely. Today is truly a difficult day for me as we stand before the ultimate symbol of the glorious supersonic passenger aviation era. Dismantling a plane that could fly faster than the rotational speed of Earth requires an absolute and profound level of respect. The fuselage is incredibly narrow, but the outer shell is made from a special aluminum alloy capable of withstanding extreme atmospheric heat. This incredible heat resistance was necessary because of the intense air friction generated during those legendary high-speed transatlantic flights decades ago. I am not using the heavy excavators right away because this delicate process demands careful precision rather than brute mechanical destruction force. We must start our meticulous work by carefully dismantling the legendary Droop nose section, which is an iconic feature of this aircraft. The complex hydraulic mechanism located right here inside the nose is extremely intricate and requires specialized tools to safely take it apart. Every single bolt and wire we disconnect feels like we are slowly turning back the pages of modern aviation engineering history today. After carefully securing the front section, we proceed to handle the massive and highly distinctive delta wings that gave it incredible lift. Cutting apart the elegant Concorde wing structure honestly feels just like destroying a priceless masterpiece of modern industrial art and aerodynamic science. Each individual piece of metal from this magnificent machine will not be thrown into a standard melting furnace like ordinary scrap materials. Instead, these precious fragments are carefully preserved and will be eagerly auctioned off inch by inch to museums and dedicated private collectors. This particular episode is fundamentally about profound nostalgia and the truly eternal value of human achievement within the realm of aviation engineering. Looking closely at these tiny passenger windows, one can easily imagine the wealthy travelers sipping premium champagne while crossing the vast ocean. My team understands the heavy emotional weight of this specific project, treating every single panel with the utmost care and professional dignity. The titanium ribs supporting the internal structure are incredibly tough, demanding our most powerful diamond blades to make any significant cutting progress. Standing inside the hollowed cabin right now, the echoing silence replaces the roaring thunder of 4 massive jet engines at full throttle. We are currently working on removing the legendary engine nozzles that once pushed this beautiful bird beyond the speed of sound effortlessly. Securing the massive engines onto transport trucks requires precise coordination to ensure nothing gets damaged during this critical phase of the operation. Moving towards the tail section, we encounter a complex network of control cables that once provided perfect stability during high-altitude flights. Taking down the iconic tail fin feels incredibly surreal, marking the definitive end of a truly magnificent chapter in global transportation history. The hangar floor is now entirely covered with neatly organized components, each waiting to find a new home with passionate aviation enthusiasts. Even the vintage cockpit instruments are being carefully preserved, serving as a powerful reminder of the brilliant minds that designed this marvel. We document every single step of this intricate process to honor the legacy of those who built and flew this magnificent aircraft. Removing thousands of tiny rivets from the main fuselage demands absolute patience, ensuring the precious metal remains completely intact for future displays. Peeling back the thick outer skin reveals the specialized insulation layers that protected passengers from the freezing temperatures of the upper stratosphere. The massive landing gear assemblies must be carefully detached next, a crucial component that absorbed incredible force during every single high-speed touchdown. We safely drain all remaining hydraulic fluids into secure containment barrels, strictly following environmental protocols while dismantling this historic piece of machinery. Cutting through the heaviest steel support beams requires intense concentration, as any small mistake could easily damage the surrounding valuable structural components. The main fuselage now looks remarkably like a giant metallic skeleton, silently resting after decades of faithfully crossing the vast Atlantic Ocean. Removing the Mach meter from the flight deck is a deeply emotional moment, symbolizing the ultimate end of civilian supersonic travel. This specific instrument once proudly displayed speeds exceeding Mach 2, an incredible engineering feat that remains unmatched in modern commercial passenger aviation. Exploring the empty cargo hold reveals the hidden structural complexity required to safely transport luggage while enduring extreme aerodynamic stress and heat. Detaching the primary wing spar requires immense physical effort and precise coordination, as it formed the absolute structural backbone of the aircraft. Every time a massive structural bolt finally gives way, a loud metallic echo resonates deeply throughout the entire quiet demolition hangar space. The right wing is slowly pulled away by industrial tractors, a breathtaking sight that truly emphasizes the massive scale of this machine. Exposing the internal fuel tanks reveals the brilliant engineering design that actively managed weight distribution during the complex supersonic flight transition phase. We must utilize specialized vacuum systems to safely extract all residual chemical fumes before any further cutting or dismantling procedures can begin. The delicate avionics equipment is carefully placed onto protective mats, ensuring these historical technological artifacts remain completely undamaged for future museums' exhibitions. This vintage radar display unit guided pilots through countless severe storms, representing a monumental leap forward in 20th century aviation safety technology. Cutting through the reinforced passenger cabin floorboards reveals the intricate network of electrical wiring that originally powered the entire luxury in-flight experience. These massive bundles of colorful wires are carefully extracted and sorted. Even the smallest components hold immense value for dedicated collectors. We now turn our complete attention to the left wing, setting up heavy scaffolding to safely support the massive structure during removal. Powerful hydraulic jacks gently lift the wing just enough to relieve the intense pressure on the main connection joints before cutting begins. The demolition team perfectly synchronizes their precise cuts along the wing route, ensuring a clean separation without compromising the surrounding valuable metal. As the left wing finally detaches and rests firmly on the supporting cradles, a collective sigh of relief echoes across the hangar. The stripped fuselage now resembles a sleek metallic bullet, a poignant visual reminder of its incredible aerodynamic design optimized for extreme speed. We proceed to unbolt the heavy base of the vertical stabilizer, a critical component that kept the aircraft flying perfectly straight gracefully. Watching the massive vertical stabilizers being lifted high into the air is a spectacular moment, highlighting the sheer scale of our operation. We must now carefully slice the long fuselage into manageable cylindrical sections, allowing for easier transportation and specialized preservation of the hull. The heavy industrial circular saw effortlessly cuts through the upper fuselage, generating a magnificent shower of bright sparks against the dark background. Each separated fuselage segment is gently lowered onto waiting flatbed trailers, ready to begin its final journey toward eager international aviation museums. The unique passenger doors are carefully removed from their heavy hinges, preserving the complex locking mechanisms designed to withstand immense cabin pressure. Inspecting the incredibly thick rubber seals around the door frame reveals the extreme engineering measures taken to guarantee absolute safety during flight. Loading the forward fuselage section onto the transport truck requires incredible precision, ensuring the delicate exterior finish remains completely free from scratches. We meticulously sweep up every single metal shaving and piece of debris, maintaining a perfectly clean workspace throughout this highly complex operation. Sorting the various specialized screws and structural fasteners into dedicated bins ensures that every tiny component is accurately cataloged for historical preservation. The heavy landing gear tires are rolled away manually, their thick rubber treads showing the undeniable wear from countless high-speed landings. Disassembling the advanced carbon fiber brake units reminds us of the incredible stopping power required to halt this massive supersonic flying machine. Inspecting the titanium turbine blades reveals the extreme thermal stress they endured while continuously generating thousands of pounds of sheer forward thrust. These incredibly valuable turbine blades are securely packed into custom foam cases, destined to become highly prized centerpieces in exclusive private collections. We are now preparing the rear fuselage section for our final major structural cuts, carefully measuring every angle to ensure absolute perfection. Our specialized plasma cutter slices effortlessly through the incredibly tough aluminum alloy skin, leaving a perfectly smooth edge for future museum displays. Heavy-duty industrial chains securely support the rear fuselage segment as it finally separates, preventing any sudden drops that could cause damage. The crew expertly guides the massive suspended rear segment onto a customized transport pallet, demonstrating their exceptional skill and years of experience. Unbolting the intricate exhaust vent structures from the tail assembly reveals the complex aerodynamic engineering designed to manage extreme supersonic engine thrust. A dedicated technician carefully polishes a small piece of the titanium heat shield, restoring its original brilliant shine for an upcoming exhibition. The demolition hangar is now surprisingly empty, with only a few secured crates and the massive central wing box remaining to process. Setting up the powerful hydraulic shears around the central wing box is our final major challenge in completely dismantling this magnificent aircraft. The massive hydraulic shears effortlessly crush through the thickest structural beams, a vivid demonstration of raw mechanical power overcoming advanced aerospace engineering. As the central wing box finally breaks apart into two distinct pieces, the primary structural dismantling phase of our operation officially concludes. Forklifts are quickly deployed to carefully move these final heavy structural pieces into secure transport containers for their upcoming journey across town. Wiping the exhausting sweat from my forehead, I feel an overwhelming sense of profound satisfaction mixed with a touch of deep sadness. Seeing these neatly packed wooden crates containing the most valuable historical parts reminds us that this incredible machine will never be forgotten. Attaching these final shipping labels ensures that future generations will have the amazing opportunity to admire this supersonic marvel up close forever. Watching the long convoy of transport trucks slowly leaving the hangar feels like witnessing a majestic funeral procession for an absolute legend. The warm sunset light casts long, dramatic shadows across the completely empty hangar floor, marking the quiet conclusion of our monumental task. Turning off the massive overhead industrial lights one by one brings a peaceful silence to the space where a giant once rested. Spotting a single forgotten rivet shining on the dark floor reminds me that true perfection exists in the smallest details of engineering. I carefully pick up this tiny piece of history, keeping it as a personal memento of the incredible machine we dismantled today. Walking out of the massive hangar doors, I reflect deeply on those brilliant minds that pushed humanity beyond the incredible sound barrier. The heavy steel doors slowly close shut, permanently sealing the empty space and marking the definitive end of this extraordinary demolition project. Looking back at this historic, grainy footage of the Concorde taking off, its sheer power and elegant beauty remain absolutely unmatched forever. Seeing those joyful passengers smiling and drinking premium champagne inside the cabin highlights the luxurious lifestyle this unique aircraft effortlessly provided them. Soaring high above the clouds at Mach 2, it represented the absolute pinnacle of human ambition and cutting-edge 20th century technology. This powerful contrast between the majestic flying machine and its carefully crated parts perfectly illustrates the inevitable cycle of modern industrial innovation. A dedicated museum curator proudly displays a pristine wing section, ensuring its incredible legacy continues to inspire countless future generations of engineers. Watching young children looking in absolute awe at the legendary Droop nose proves that the magic of supersonic flight will never die. A passionate private collector carefully mounts the vintage Mach meter in their study, cherishing a tangible piece of aviation history forever preserved. Our dedicated demolition crew stands proudly together outside the closed hangar, knowing we successfully completed an incredibly difficult and emotionally taxing job. Taking off my hard hat today, I realized that destroying something so perfectly beautiful requires just as much precision as building it. This incredible time-lapse reveals the entire meticulous dismantling process, transforming a legendary supersonic passenger jet into carefully preserved historical museum artifacts. The empty hangar at the end of our journey stands as a silent testament to the immense scale of the hard work. As a modern jet flies high above, leaving a white contrail, we remember the brilliant pioneer that originally paved that supersonic path. Thank you so much for joining us on this deeply emotional and technically fascinating journey through the history of modern passenger aviation. I am your host, and this has been another incredible episode of Demolition Worker, where we respectfully dismantle history one piece away.